So you can see what I'm doing. I'm folding in my seam allowance. So after folding, then I will stitch the edges. Can you see? So I'll make sure my stitches fall very close to the edges of the seam allowance, which is also known as edge stitch. So guys, now I'm done stitching, and this is what I have on the right side. Can you see? I stitched on the wrong side, so this is what I have on the wrong side. So this is the wrong side and this is the right side. So the type of seam I have here is called a French seam. Okay, you can also make your seam allowance to fall on the right side of your fabric, so which means instead of positioning your fabric right side facing each other, you will position your fabric wrong side facing each other. You will have your seam allowance on the right side, then you will fold in the seam allowances and apply an edge stitch. But as for me, I prefer stitching mine on the wrong side so that I will be able to top stitch. As you can see, after top stitching, I have 3 stitches here. So, and I wouldn't want this to happen on the right side, so 2 seams is okay on the right side. That is why I prefer doing mine on the wrong side. So after finishing the crotch area for the back, then I will go to the front area and I will place this also right side facing the right side. As I said earlier, if you want to finish your crotch area on the right side, position your fabric wrong side facing the wrong side, so you will have your seam allowance on the right side. So I will position this right side facing the right side like so. So now I'm pinning the 2 edges together. So the construction of the front crotch area is going to be a little bit different from the back crotch. Okay, so you can see what I have. So now I will be marking my 1/2 inch of seam allowance from the waistline downward to the crotch point. So here is the 1 inch point. Then from the 1 inch point, I will measure another 1 inch downward, and I will mark the point. You can see what I have here. So from the edges here to this point is 1 inch, then from here to here is 1 inch. So now I will be stitching with 1/2 inch of seam allowance from the edges here to this 1 inch point. When I get to the 1 inch point, I will stop. Then I will leave the space I have here, which is a space of 1 inch, and I will start sewing from 1 inch point I have below, which is the second 1 inch point, downward to the crotch point. Now I will be stitching from the beginning of my trousers here, and I will stop on the 1 inch point. So when I get to the 1 inch point, I stopped and I will lock my stitches. Then I will pull my thread and I will position this on the second 1 inch point, which is here. Then I will continue stitching from this point downward to the crotch point. So guys, now I have this stitched. As you can see, I've stitched from the waistline downward to the crotch point, and I have an open space here. So that is the 1 inch I left when I was stitching. So this is the effect of the opening. So this is where the elastic rope will be going through. So when it is time to insert the elastic rope, so this is the space I will be using in inserting the elastic rope. So now on this point, which is the second 1 inch point, I will place a notch. And I will stop exactly on the seam point. You can see what I have here. So now I will be working on this upper part. You can see I've separated the upper part from the lower part with the notch I placed here. So I will open this up like so. I will give it a press. After giving it a press, then I will be finishing the two separately. I will finish this towards the side and I will finish this towards the side. So after giving it a press, I will fold this in like so, and I will apply an edge stitch. So I will stitch from this edge and I will stop here. So on the other side as well, I will fold it and I will apply an edge stitch. So after stitching, I will have this like so. Can you see the opening I have? Then on the right side, this is what I will have. So I will be doing this and I will be back to show you the next step. Okay guys, now I have this done and this is what I have after stitching. So this is the wrong side and this is what I have on the right side. Can you see what I have? So the next step is to finish the remaining parts of the front crotch, and I will be finishing this using the same method I used in finishing the back crotch. Firstly, I will top stitch. I will top stitch on the right side. Then after top stitching, then I will finish the edges and apply an edge stitches on the wrong side. So guys, now I have the front crotch finished and this is what I have for the finishing. Can you see the front? This is the right side of the front crotch and this is the wrong side. So now that the front and the back crotches has been stitched properly, the next step is to stitch the inseam of the trousers. Now I'll be turning this to the wrong side. Then I will be stitching the crotch area together. So I'll place this like so, making sure the two crotch points align properly. You can see, so they must meet like so. And I will secure it with my sewing pin. Then I will be pinning the remaining parts together from the hem line. So I will make sure the edges align properly as well. So the notches I have on my fabrics must match properly as well, and I will secure the point with my sewing pin. So guys, now I have the remaining parts of the inseam pinned together. You can see what I have. So now I will be stitching with 1/2 inch of seam allowance. I will start stitching from the hem line on one side and I will take it upward like so to the crotch points. Then I will bring it down to the other side of the inseam like so, downward to the hemline point. Now I'm on the crotch point, so I will stitch like so and I will back stitch. So this is to secure the crotch area from being ripped off. Okay, so you can go like 2 or 3 times like that. Now I have the inseam area stitched and this is what I have after stitching. So as you can see, our trousers is almost ready. We have about 2 to 3 steps to complete this. So you can see what I have. So now I will be turning this to the right side. So guys, this is what I have for a native trousers for a male child. You can see what I have. This is the crotch area. You can see the crotch meets properly. So you can see what I have here. This is a side seam and this is the pocket. The two pockets are there. So the next step is to finish the waistline and the hemline of the trousers. So in finishing the waistline, I will fold in the inches I added as an extra on the waistline. So in doing this, I will turn this back to the wrong side. So now I have this turned to the wrong side, and I will hold my pocket bag in place with my sewing pin. Okay, so now I will be folding this like so. Okay, so here I have 2 inches. So that is the allowance I added for the elastic rope. So I will make sure I have the exact 2 inches all around the waistline. Okay, then I will fold this inwards by 1/2 inch. That is the edges of the allowance. So before I stitch, I will make sure I remove the pins I have on the pocket bag. So don't forget to remove the pins. So I will fold this all around. I will take it to my ironing board and I will give it a press. After giving it a press, then I will be back to stitch the edges. So guys, now I have the waist area ironed, and the next step is to apply an head stitches on the edges all around. So guys, now I have this stitch, and this is what I have after finishing the waistline. Can you see? This is the inside of the waistline. This is what I have on the inside, and this is what I have on the outside. Can you see what I have for the wrong side? So the next step is to apply another edge stitch at the upper part of the waistline on the edges like so. So this is to help the fabric to stay in place while inserting the elastic rope. After inserting the elastic rope, this is going to give the waistline a kind of shape and design. So I will be marking 1/4 inch all around from this edge. So I will be marking 1/4 inch all around from this edge. So I will mark 1/4 inch downward. So I will take the measurement all around, and I will stitch with 1/4 inch all around the waistline. Okay, so after taking this measurement, make sure the measurement you have left on this side is up to the elastic band measurement. Okay, so that you will not have issue inserting your elastic rope. So guys, now I'm on my domestic sewing machine. Here is the waistline. I've stitched the edges with 1/4 inch. As you can see, I stitched this all around. So now I will be going to the hemline. So I'll be hemming the lower part of the trousers. I folded this in with the hem allowance I added, and I folded the edges with 1/2 inch all around, and I gave it a press. So that is why I have it very flat and neat like so. So with the help of my tabletop sewing machine, I will be able to insert this like so, and I'll be stitching all around on the edges of the hem allowance. So I'll be applying an edge stitch. So guys, now I have this done. I have the lower part of the trousers hemmed properly. So this is the wrong side. You can see how neat it looks, no shortage and no excess. Okay, and on the right side, this is what I have. So you can see what I have here. Now I will be repeating the same process on the other leg. Guys, now I have the lower part of my trousers hemmed. So this is what I have after hemming. So I have the two sides hem now. So the last step is to insert the elastic rope on the waistline. So far so good, this trousers is ready. So this is the only thing I have left to do. So I've cut out the amount of the elastic rope I'll be inserting. I got the measurement from the waist circumference measurements I took on the wearer. Then I subtracted 3 inches from the waist circumference measurement. So I have 19 inches here. So its exact measurement is 22 inches. So I have 19 inches and I will be taking the seam allowance from the 19 inches. So in inserting the elastic rope, I need a safety pin. So I will open up the safety pin, then insert it like so, close it back, and with the help of the opening I have on the front side of the trousers, which falls on the wrong side, so I will insert the elastic rope together with the safety pin. So then I will be moving the safety pin. So as I'm moving the safety pin, the elastic rope will follow automatically. So guys, now I have the elastic rope inserted inside the trousers. Okay, so this is what I have. So the last step is to stitch the edges together. I will be taking this to my tabletop sewing machine and I will be applying a zigzag stitches. In case you don't have a zigzag stitches function on your sewing machine, you can as well make use of a straight stitches, but make sure you run your stitches about 3 to 5 times before closing your stitches. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you find this video helpful in one way or the other, kindly give it a thumbs up so that YouTube algorithm can show it to more people who are in need of it. Thank you once again, and I will see you on my next video. But till then, always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.